Hi guys, welcome back. I am starting off this tutorial with a circle on my stone again, but we're going to erase that circle once we're done. Don't mind my band-aid, I have a boo-boo. Now I am going to show you how to paint a Hamsa stone. A lot of you have been asking what my techniques are with that. Am I ever going to do a tutorial? So here it is. It's taken me a little while to perfect a way to show you how to do it easily. So I've started with a circle. I'm doing 3 separate things down the center to make 3 fingers, because this does look like a hand, known as the hand of Fatima. And I am going to use my pencil to sketch out the 3 fingers, and I call it a left thumb and a right thumb. Now there is so many different symbols that you can see in Hamsa Hamsa stones or paintings of Hamsas. If you look on Pinterest or Google, and you'll see a lot of different symbols inside of them. So what I do is I incorporate symbols that I love and that have meaning to me inside of my Hamsa stone. So I usually use black to fill in the hand once I'm happy with the shape that I've made with pencil. And I'm going to erase all the pencil that I don't want as soon as I'm done with my black paint. Now, the Hamsa, or Hand of Fatima, is actually, in the Buddhist culture, it means it stands for protection, happiness, fertility, goodness, love, luck, light. It's just all positive. It's supposed to ward off negativity and bad energy as well. So, for instance, with my Hamsa, there's going to be a lotus that has meaning to it in my personal life, growth and rebirth. There's going to be vines on the left and right side, on the thumbs, as I like to call them. Vines mean growth to me as well. We're constantly growing, we're constantly learning. There's going to be a moon. There's going to be spirals. There's a meaning with spirals as well, which I will explain a little bit later. But honestly, like, there's just so much beauty all packed into one little symbol, and you get to make it your own and put whatever symbols you want in there. Now here's the eye. I believe that is for protection. The moon, spirals. Once again, I'm going to look up the meaning for spiral for you so that you can also learn about it. Ancient spirals represent the winding journey inward we must take if we were to truly know and love ourselves. From that journey, we return with more power and wisdom. So I like to add spirals to almost every single one of these that I do. Same with the eye, same with the vines on the side. You will see sometimes I put peacock feathers on the left and right thumbs. Today we're doing a vine, a sparkling vine, and there's going to be a lot of color when we are finished. So as you can see, I've just sketched everything on with pencil, and now I'm taking my gold paint and I'm outlining all of that, all of what I want to keep. I'm outlining, and then I'm going to get rid of the stuff that I don't want afterwards. Now you can thin lines out, you can make them thick, you can use silver, you don't have to use gold, it's completely up to you. You guys know me though, and I love the gold, so I will stick to it. I apologize if this is sped up too much for you guys. This is a long tutorial to begin with, but I needed to speed it up a little bit so that you guys weren't bored and didn't want to finish it off. So I'm trying to cut it down and speed it up. But if you need to pause it and adjust things and take your time, that's what we're here for. Just press the pause button, and I'll be here when you get back. It takes me a lot longer than it looks in the video to actually complete a stone. So it might look like I'm working on it super fast and I don't make mistakes, but really they're there. And it takes me a couple hours to do this for you. And then it takes me a few more hours to edit it and get it on YouTube for you. So I want you guys to take your time and make it beautiful and make it your own. So I am doing, you might notice this in some of my other videos that I use like 3 different colors. So I will be using 3 different colors on the lotus, 3 different colors on the thumbs or the vines on left and right, 3 different colors in the eye, and you'll see, because I will show you. I will show you it all. So I am just cleaning up right now. I'm making sure that I don't have too many thick spots in the gold. I'm just adjusting it all and thinning out any lines I need to and cleaning it up. I just call it cleanup because it's the easiest way to explain it. And then I let the gold dry so that we can start dotting like crazy. Because yes, guys, this is going to be a dotted one again. Now, I don't recommend starting off with this tutorial if you're a beginner. This one is a bit more challenging, which is why it's a bit longer and why it took me so long to have a tutorial that was easy for you guys to follow. It took me a long time to get any good at this because I don't like to use tools and make it perfect. I just like to go freehand. And so I had to use some tools so that it's easier for you guys, right? So starting off with the circle and then the lines with the ruler and stuff like that. But normally I don't like to measure anything out because I'm just too impatient for that kind of stuff. And I'm not a fan of numbers. I think I might be allergic to numbers. And I know there's other people out there that feel the same way. So I am just putting on some leaves, I guess you can call it. And I'm going to make sure that I clean up the lines, the gold leaves a little bit more with black paint. But I'm also adding 3 dots below the moon and some dots on the tips of the lotus flower petals. I sometimes put crystals on my Hamsa stones, and where those dots are, that would be where I put the crystals. Or I also put them on each individual eyelash. On the very tip of the eyelash, there will be a tiny little Swarovski crystal there. I won't be doing that with this one today, but in the future, I will show you guys how I apply crystals. Now for the leaves, I'm using hologram 2796. It leaves like a beautiful teal, greenish colored sparkle. And of course, we want to have as much color and sparkle as we can if you're following my videos. So I am adding that in. It looks white and gluey right now, but it does clean up nicely once it's dry. I'm also using another hologram paint called Champagne. You might have seen me use this before. It's like a gold sparkle when it's dry, so that the moon will be a sparkling gold instead of the teal green or blue, whatever you want to call it. There we go. It does look a little weird right now, but when it's dry, it looks great. So for the lotus, I'm using 3 different colors. We're starting off with a pink, like a bubblegum pink, it looks almost like. I will leave the paint names in the description of this video. So if you want to use the exact same colors I'm using, they will all be listed in the description. So I'm starting off with the pink. And then I'm going to work my way up to a neon pink and then white at the very tips. So I always choose 3 different colors. So you can sort of see me blending in the neon pink now. And then I'm just going to add white. I like to do it all in 3s for some reason. It just makes it colorful and easy. So I always pick out 3 different colors. For the leaves, for the 2 side thumbs that I like to call them, it's going to be yellow, then a light green, and then a darker green. So it kind of like fades in an ombre from yellow to dark green. And all these colors together just look so beautiful. So don't forget, you don't have to use these symbols. And it doesn't have to have a religious meaning or anything like that. It's just all about making some art and making something beautiful. So Don't feel that you have to have knowledge of the Buddhist religion. Don't feel that you can't paint this if you've never painted something like this before. Keep an open mind and put whatever symbols you like inside there, whatever means something to you. So with the eye, I've also chosen 3 different colors. So it's like a mint green in the center, then like an aqua next to the mint, and then a darker teal on the very outside of the eye. And I just blend those colors in, just like I did with the lotus. I've left a little bit of white in the pupil, and it kind of gives it a little shine. As well, I dotted the white part of the eye with white paint. And I'm actually going to show you, there's the yellow, green, 2 different shades of green. And we're starting at the bottom. You can't really see very well because I don't have it focused on that area. But I'm just starting at the bottom of the vine with yellow on both sides. I'm going to try and go up to the same height with the yellow dots. And I am using a toothpick for all of this. So you probably have a toothpick at home. That way you know you can do this with a toothpick. You don't have to use a toothpick. You can use dotting tools or needles or knitting needles. It's up to you what you want to use. But you do probably have a toothpick available. So I've put in some light green here. Blended in nicely with the yellow. And the sparkles are pretty much dry now, so you can start to see those leaves a little bit better. They will stand out more once I've sealed it with resin. I'm also going to paint the eyelid in a purplish color shift paint, so it's like a metallic purple. You can use whatever color you want for the eyelid as well, or you can leave it just the way it is. The moon looks to be almost dry as well. I sometimes do put stars below the moon or stars where the spirals are, but today I decided to just keep spirals. There's the color shift paint, and it does look purple once I put it on here. Just use colors that you love. You don't have to use my colors. You can do fade from red up to, like, go through a rainbow of colors all the way up to the top where the moon is. You can just leave it black the way I've got it right now, and just color in the eye and the lotus and the leaves. It's completely up to you what you want to do. That's what I love about art. Now with the around the lotus, I'm going to use Perfect Purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the base color of purple and keep adding white to it as I get closer up through past the lotus. So I'm dotting around the lotus right now, starting at the bottom, and it's going to fade from a dark purple up to a light purple right up underneath that eye. And then we're going to flip it around and do the same thing with the top where the moon is. And we're going to dot a blue color towards the eye, and we're just going to keep adding white until it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, and it's going to fade beautifully towards that eye. So you can see I'm still using my toothpick. The color change is gradual. It's up to you how quickly you want to change that color. It just depends on how much white you add. So I just add a little bit so that I can see that there's a change. And then once we get up closer to the eye, it's almost as light as, it's almost white by the time we get closer to the eye. But when you stand back and you look at that, it's a beautiful gradient of purple, and it looks really beautiful next to that, next to the leaves and the color in there, and the lotus. Just beautiful. There's just so much you can do with a Hamsa stone. And you can make it whatever colors you want, or if you're gifting it to someone, you can do it, their favorite colors and their favorite symbols, and do whatever you want with it. When I make my videos, I try and make it so that you can be as creative as possible with it. You're not just stuck doing it like me, because it's the only way it'll work. You can do it however you want. Now I've done the top part with a nice dark cerulean blue, and I'm just adding white to it, just like I did with the purple. And this color change is gorgeous when I start adding white to this blue. It's like one of my favorite colors. So you probably see it a lot in my videos. And I'm just gradually mingling in those two blues together and bringing that blue down a little bit, walking those dots out. Kind of looks like pop bubbling up from the bottom of a glass. That's the best way for me to describe being able to blend in those colors nicely and smoothly so that there's a nice gradient effect. You just bubble them up or out or down, whatever you want to call it. I like bubbling them. And no, that is not a technical term. That is a Rachel Mitchell term. Thank you. Patent pending. So there I am adding more white. They're just getting lighter and lighter. This does take a while. I know it probably looks like it doesn't take me very long to make these stones when you look at a video, but it really does take me a while. Just so you know, I have sped it up for you guys. Now I am going to outline the whole thing with black, nice thick black lines so that you can make it pop off the rock a little bit more. I have a lighter colored rock, so this may look a little different if you're using a different colored rock, but it will still pop it off the rock with that thick black outline. Almost looks like we stuck a big sticker to the rock when we're done. But we didn't. We know how much work we put in. I've just outlined the under part of the eye, and there you go. It's so beautiful. I'm going to resin it. Please take a look on my channel for my resin tutorial. I'm not going to put it in here because it will make this video 3 days long. So please, if you want to resin it, take a look at my tutorial and I show you how to do it and what I use. Here it is, all shiny and beautiful. All those colors are popping out. All those sparkles. It will be the best thing that you have ever painted when you are done. I love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. I apologize for any lawnmowers or background noise you might hear. My life has been loud today. I hope you've enjoyed this. You make yours and make it special. Keep painting, guys.